my opening salvo is this. Basically, AVB, and this is straight shooting, to coin a phrase. Right at AVB, Andre Villas-Boas, and also at Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, what I will say is this: you two, as managers, cannot bemoan refereeing decisions that were questionable both ways. You can't be moaning at refereeing decisions after both of your teams defended the way you did for each and every goal/penalty situation. You cannot moan about refereeing decisions if you're not going to defend properly. Now, the reason why I say it is this. I was so badly hoping that Alan Hansen would have been on Match of the Day 2 yesterday so he could have ripped apart at the defences, because Lee Dixon, Dion Dublin and Colin Murray didn't do it for me. Didn't do it. It was a word that rhymes with wussy coverage. And yes, that is us playing Ruby by the Kaiser Chiefs, because it is very much a great tune to get me psyched up, because at the end of the day, it's a case, to me it's a case of, with the first goal, Patrice Evra, mate, he let Sturridge get by him too easily. Yeah, Evans was unlucky. There's not much else Evans could have really done about that. De Gea, not at fault for that. I'm sorry. Still not. I'm not ever gonna blame David De Gea for that. But it's one of them ones. First goal, Sturridge got past Evra way too easily. A man of Evra's experience as well should have just shepherded him out further towards the byline. But let's take Chelsea's second goal. Torres on the right. Again, where is Evra stopping the cross? As a left back myself, I'm not sniping at Evra in particular. Let's get this straight, because I play left back at amateur league level. I look to quality players and also analysis to learn to improve my game. And I didn't learn anything off Patrice Evra yesterday. But the fact of the matter is this: firstly, he didn't stop the cross, and secondly, Fabio should have had his head on a swivel and keeping an eye on Juan Mata, because if he puts Mata under enough pressure, Mata can potentially blast that high, wide, and butt ugly. But it's one of them ones. It's one of them. You look at where Rio Ferdinand was front post. He's not marking anyone. There's two players in the box, Sturridge and Malouda. But Rio Ferdinand's free. But Evans is right next to Sturridge. And Fabio's right by Malouda. What's wrong with that picture? If you see someone coming in on the far post and the ball's going over there, you need to be getting over there sharpish. Now, Chelsea's third goal. Yes, it was a soft free kick. Shouldn't have been a free kick in my view. But at the end of the day, it's a case of, again, poor defending. Rio Ferdinand wasn't touch tight to David Luiz, and with David Luiz's hair, how can you miss him? How in the blue hell do you not mark David Luiz properly when he looks like one of the Hair Bear bunch? Obligatory Cartoon Network reference there. But it's one of them ones. How do you miss him? How do you let him go? And by the time Rio Ferdinand is about to jump, mate, Luiz is halfway in the air and he's basically scored. It's one of them ones. Poor. But I'm only halfway through my analysis of these goals. Every which one could have been easily ruled out with very, very simple defending. But let's carry on. Rooney's 58th minute penalty. I think Ashley Young's penalty up the other end was more of a penalty. And even that, I thought, I was a little unsure about it. But in the replays, I saw the shirt pull and it was like, you know what? That is a penalty because of the shirt pull. But again, useless linesman, as we've spoken about before on Pitch Talk Push Points. Now, let me carry on because I am slightly digressing. But Daniel Sturridge's challenge on Evra, to me, Evra was looking for it. Howard Webb bought it. It's one of them ones. Hook, line, and sinker. It's one of them ones. But
the contact was there though.
Yeah, the contact.
It's a Stonewall penalty.
I wouldn't say Stonewall because he's looking for it. But
looking for it or not, yeah. Looking for it or not, Sturridge still commits the foul.
So are you advocating people playing for penalties then?
I'm not advocating for people playing for penalties. I'm not saying that at all.
But Evra was playing for it, clearly. He was in the box. He wasn't looking to go anywhere. Look at his body motions. He weren't looking to go anywhere. He was looking for the contact.
If you're going to talk about somebody playing for a penalty, right? Let's talk about the Daniel Welbeck penalty.
I was going there.
Let's talk about Daniel Sturridge's penalty against QPR.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about playing for a penalty.
But I did
what Steven Gerrard has done over the years.
But I've seen it against Sheffield United years ago. I was embarrassed by that. Down at Bramall Lane. Don't worry, mate. I remember that. Let's go back to Robert. Let's go back even slightly further. Let's talk about Robert Pires. But what was it? Arsenal Portsmouth 1-1 draw. But Pires dives over Arian Dazou's leg, gets a penalty, salvages a draw during that invincible run. Mate, I'm not playing double standards here. I'm analysing this from a defender's point of view. But speaking of that, let's carry on. Ivanovic, clumsy tackle on Welbeck. Again, it's another one that on another day it could have been seen as a dive. It could have been because
all the noise you was making up about the Evra penalty.
I'm not saying
making up that same noise about the Welbeck penalty.
No, hold on.
Personally, I think you got the two of them a bit confused.
No, hold on. I'm saying with the Welbeck penalty, at first glance to me it looked a stone wall up because Ivanovic's challenge was clumsy. To me. But as said, it's one of them was with Hernandez's goal on 84 minutes, it was a case of another one that was easily avoidable. You got Cahill front and you got David Luiz watching what's going on? Headless chicken being controlled by a 10-year-old on a PlayStation. Gary Neville was right, and I hate to admit that Gary Neville was right, considering who he used to play for. But he is a good pundit. I will give him credit on that one. But at the end of the day, David Luiz, it's simple centre-back play. One presses, one holds. David Luiz shouldn't be playing as part of the back four. He should be playing in front of the back four.